Hello, everyone. So, I wanted to talk about refeeding, and this pops up all the time between people's fear of refeeding and people over refeeding. And there's all different types of refeeding. You have your general refeed day, you have a carb night, you have carb backloading, you have carb cycling. So there's all different things, but we're just going to look at a refeed day. When it, believe it or not, on a refeed day, there's a lot of people that I have to say, like, you need to eat more. You're not eating enough. We need to make sure that we're getting enough carbs and sugar into the body, that we're supporting the hormones, that we're soothing the body, soothing the central nervous system, providing for the adrenals and the thyroid while stimulating the metabolism to rev up. Now, there's a few different ways that people look at this. Is when they're having good results with me, they don't want to eat too much because they don't want to ruin their results, which actually the contrary is true, because when people don't actually refeed, then they will usually adapt or plateau a lot sooner. And depending on the body, some people can adapt or plateau or stall as quick as 4 days. Like, that's insane, but it happens. And I've seen it happen. So when we don't refeed properly, we get the reverse of what we thought was going to happen. We start to gain, or the scales is not moving at all, or we're not seeing what we want to see. So then I will end up having to make people eat more, or I'll have to schedule carbs throughout the day, or make sure that they're getting enough in, because if they're not getting enough in, we're not going to see them get the results they want. And not only that, but I do see the thyroid slow down. We do see the menstrual cycle come into issues. Like, there are a lot of issues that we need to be aware of. So refeeding, I mean, the long-term benefits of carb backloading and carb refeeding and carb nights, there are studies, I have shared lots of studies in my groups of shown how this can be more beneficial than detrimental for people, and especially for women, because believe it or not, and not everyone wants to admit this, but women are very sensitive to carbohydrates. So it's important that we're supporting the body by making sure that we're providing those carbohydrates. So with refeed day, I'll ask people, like, well, what have you ate? And they might tell me, like, oh, well, I had some chicken wings and a glass of wine. And I'm like, that's not actually a refeed. I'm going to need you to have more than that. And really, it has came to where I've timed like 6 small carb meals across a day for someone. And refeeding doesn't have to be junk food. It doesn't have to be. I mean, some people like it, and I'm not going to hold that against them. If they want to have a family day or a date night, or go to a wedding or a party and just have what they like guilt-free, go for it. It's not going to damage your goals. If anything, it's going to support your goals and your long-term health. But some people can be very sensitive to certain foods, specifically trans fats and mucus forming foods and simple carbs and stuff. So it doesn't make them feel good, which is fine, but I still want them to have that carb refeed. So in that case, I might encourage them, well, how about you make a homemade apple pie, or homemade kind of clean pancakes, or homemade sweet potato fries with your dinner. Like, I want to up the carbs there on that, so they're not getting a lot of the bad ingredients they might get if they were eating junk food or eating out, but they're getting that carb refeed or the reload, so that they're supporting the metabolism and the hormones and all these different areas that needs to be supported. So it doesn't always have to be junk food. But it can be what you like. Like, refeed day is not a big stress to me. I usually ask people to avoid MSG and aspartame. They're 2 things I have a problem with, and hard drugs, of course. I'm not going to align myself with that. You do you, but don't tell me about it. But you want to make sure that you're getting enough. Some women don't need that much. Some women do need more, and you'll see it if your menstrual cycle starts going haywire, if your libido drops, if you start getting really irritable and moody, if you're your sleep starts to suffer, if your metabolism slows down, if you're getting colder hands and feet, or your hair is starting to fall out, all of these can be signs that you're not getting enough carbs into your diet. So having that refeed day can be very important for you to up level your results and your progress, but also make sure that everything is taken care of. And of course, you get those days where you can just go on date night and have fun with your family, take your kids for pizza. You don't eat the pizza, preferably, if you're one of my clients. But you get what I'm saying. Like, you can have these days where you can just chill out while still prioritizing your goals at the same time. So what the driving home, the summary, the conclusion, what I'm trying to drive home in this video is that if you're having a carb refeed, you have to make sure that you are actually carb refeeding, and you're not, say, having your normal omelette for breakfast and 2 pancakes for lunch and a glass of wine, some fries for dinner. That's not enough. That's not enough of a carb refeed. If you're one of my clients and you're working off an eating protocol that I recommend 80% of the time, that's not going to be enough. I can't comment on other health coaches' eating protocols and what they're getting you to do, but generally you do want to make sure that there is enough carbs there to support all the hormonal needs and the metabolism. And a lot of other stuff, like the libido, like keeping the lady parts moist, like making sure enough mucus is being formed in your nose and in your gums so they don't start bleeding. Make sure there's not malabsorption happening. They're important. So if you're having a refeed day, make sure you do it properly. And then on the other side of the spectrum, make sure you earn your refeed day. So if you have a refeed day coming up, then you're going to give the rest of the week 120%. Not 100%, not 110, 120% all those other days. So you earn your refeed day, and then you make your refeed day work in your favor. So I hope that helped people kind of understand refeed day a little bit more, and how you want to do it right. Make sure you're having enough. Make sure you're supporting the body. If you're working with a health coach, they should be able to say, hey, do this, or hey, add more, or hey, maybe not do that. It's very individual, and as we get older, some people don't tolerate carbs as much, so maybe they do half a refeed day, and so on and so on. Okay, be good. I hope you enjoyed this. Please share with anyone you feel may benefit. And let me know if there's any more topics that you would like me to cover. Okay, bye-bye.